The Gorillamatics team. The basic premise of our project was that, well, education is hard. In fact, especially quantitative education. Studies conducted by edX show that, on a whole, classes that teach quantitative subjects like mathematics and physics tend to receive lower ratings from students in terms of engagement and educational capacity than their qualitative counterparts. For instance, of all advanced placement tests, AP Physics 1 receives, on average, the lowest scores year after year, according to the College Board Statistics. The fact is, across the board, many quantitative subjects are just more difficult to teach, a fact that's compounded by the isolation that comes with remote learning. The goal of our project was to create an educational entertainment game that allows students to better engage in quantitative subjects. We wanted to take a complex subject that many students struggle with and to make it more fun and engaging for learners entering the subject for the first time. We wanted to provide a tool for instructors for both in-classroom and remote education, and provide a way for education to be more accessible to students attending remotely. Specifically, we focused on introductory high school physics, one of the most challenging subjects to tackle for the first time. In keeping with the theme of Control-Alt-Create, we took inspiration from another educational game from the history of computing. In 1991, Microsoft released a programming language and environment called QBASIC to teach first-time programmers how to code. One of the demo programs they released was this this game called Gorillas, an artillery game where two players can guess the velocity and angle in order to try to hit their opponents. We decided to reimagine this iconic little program from the 90s into a modern networked game designed to teach students kinematics and projectile motion. Similar to Kahoot, teachers can set up the classroom or lobby for students to join in from their devices. Students can join in either as individuals or as a team. Once a competition begins, students use virtual tape measures to find distances in their surroundings, determining how far their opponent is and the size of obstacles that they need to overcome. Based on these parameters, they can try out an appropriate angle and calculate an initial velocity to fire the projectiles. Although there is no timer, students are incentivized to work quickly in order to fire off their projectiles before their opponents. Students have a limited number of shots as well, incentivizing them to double-check their work wisely. The goal of this game is to provide the aspects of a proper education in a fun and low-stakes environments. Students can apply their physics skills in a practical environment and are encouraged to solve kinematics problems faster and with greater accuracy, all without the threat of penalization on their grades. Team-based competitions also allow students to work together both in breakout rooms in a remote setting or in an